Hello and welcome back. In this lesson, we are going to look at flask.config underscore class. And for that, I've already created a new project folder L16. And in this, we'll create a new file app.py. Additionally, we are going to create another file which is myconfig.py. And the reason why we might need this type of setup is, let's say if you are creating an app which uh, can use different configurations for production, development, etc. So you can have a different configuration for each of those, and to make that happen, what we can do is create a separate subclass of the original config class in Flask. For example, if we go to Flask and import config from Flask, import config with a capital C, uppercase C, then we what we can do is create let's say a development config. So class development config, and this inherits from the Flask's main uh, uh, config class, which is the config with uppercase C. And within this, then we can define what we need. So here, let's say we have the init method where we have these. We create some attributes. If the root path defaults is equal to none, and here we say super, and then init. So we are sort of inheriting the root. So root underscore path and defaults from the config, and then uh, within this development config we are going to sort of override the values for these keys. Let's say debug, we are going to set that as true. Self, then env name, we are going to give this name, let's say development, and self, another secret key, secret key. So maybe this can have a separate separate secret key, which is going to be dev secret, and that creates our development config. So it has some additional customization that could help in the development phase of an app. Now in our main app.py file, we are going to import Flask. From Flask, import Flask, and below that we need to also import myconfig. So from myconfig import, we are going to import the class development config, and because that is the class we are going to use to in this particular app. So we to make that happen, we also need to do one additional thing, which is create another class here called myFlask, and this is a subclass of the original Flask. And the reason why we do this is because we inside of this we are going to use config underscore class, and that's where we use the development config. So this lesson is all about this config underscore class, and this is how we can set it up. Once we have that done, then rest of it is pretty straightforward. We initialize the app. Now usually we would use app is equal to Flask and then underscore underscore name underscore underscore, but because we now have created a subclass of Flask which uses the development config, to make sure we have the configurations from the development config, we need to use this subclass that we have created rather than using the original Flask. And after that, our usual app.route, and in this we can go to the base URL, again create a function home, and here we can list out whatever uh, config settings the development might have, just so that we can see them. Debug, debug mode, and here we say app.config and then square bracket debug, and this will fetch the value for the key debug from the dictionary config dictionary that we have created, like the custom dictionary, and we insert a break. Next, another f string, we have secret key, again app.config, and within square brackets okay, and within square bracket we have the secret key, secret underscore key, and again outside of this we break the line. Finally, let's use environment, and this again can be fetched from config dictionary by using the env name as the key to that particular value. And in the end, we say you just need to use the if name is equal to main underscore underscore, and then app dot run debug is equal to true. So why do we then care about creating this particular class? If that is the question, the reason is this can be a much cleaner way to put all the configuration settings in one file rather than typing it here one by one. uh, that this could be a cleaner approach. Plus, in addition to this, you could have another class here for let's say production. So we could have another class here that could say production config, just like so production config, right? And so here you could have we could have some different setups. So this could be called production. Again, this is prod secret key, and this may be true or false, depends. But the power of using this setup is that you now have a dedicated set of configuration for each uh, phase of the app you're working on. So let's go ahead and run this. I'm already in the project folder, so I'm simply going to type python app.py, and we see that the app is running. So we go into the browser and go to the root URL, and here you see the values. So debug mode is true, that's what we had set. Then env name is development, environment is development, and the secret key is dev secret. That's because we used a development config. And let's say for some reason we were to use the production config, it's so easy now to switch to production config. If we do that, and I just the reason why we got this error is because we haven't imported that. So let's import the production config, and so I'm going to run the app again, and now if we refresh this, you see that very easily we are now switching to this class where all the configs are set according to the production. So debug mode is true, secret key production, secret part secret, and environment is production. That was it for this video. I hope to see you all in the next video. Thank you.